Fish on. Fish on. There we go. Man, they're slow coming today. It's a difficult bite. It is. This is on a pink Trout Trix worm. Trolling it with 3 colors out and a 1 ounce sinker. The anticipation. I want to see them. Staying down. Still haven't seen color. Oh, it's a nice big rainbow. It's like a nice big rainbow. Oh yeah, that's what we come to Elminor for. Come on, baby, stay on there. Come on. There we go, in the box. Woo, right there. Man, oh man, that's a heavy fish. Ugh. Especially when I'm just holding the very end of the net. Oh man. Well, there we go. Whew. Lead core, Trout Trix worm, hard to catch fish. You stay at it, stay on the marks, you're gonna get it done. It just takes time. Right there, look at that big old rainbow. Big heavy fish, probably upwards of about 3 pounds. Got a few copepods on him, nothing to worry about. Nice square tail, and jumped on that pink worm, hooked him right around the lower jaw. He wasn't getting away. Awesome fight. That fish is gonna be awesome on the table. I'm gonna get him in the cooler. We can get that worm back out there and see if we can get another one. That is just a dandy fish. Lake Elminor. Man, good fish. Well, it's about 10:15, so I have about 15 minutes of fishing time left. This has been an extremely challenging week at Lake Elminor for me. I did catch fish. I was able to catch fish, but it was a scratch bite at best. And what a difference a year makes. I was up here in early October last year, and I had lights out fishing. My number one bait then was my natural colored Trout Trix minnow. There was bait a year ago, but there wasn't the volume of bait I saw this week. There is just huge amounts of bait out here. And I think that's the reason the fishing's been tough. The fish that I did clean were absolutely plugged with bait. They didn't have to eat and they didn't have to look to find food. There's food all around them all the time. Didn't have any difficulty finding fish. The marks here are just exceptional. And you know, I think it's a weather thing. Hopefully when the weather cools off, some of this bait will break up and the fishing will be much better. The lake is in great shape. The water's higher than it usually is this time of the year, and the ecosystem here is very, very healthy. Plenty of forage, lots of birds, lots of fish. I'll definitely be back to Elminor. Number one bait for me was the pink Trout Trix worm. And I'm gonna say if I didn't have these Trout Trix worms, I might not have caught anything at all. I had several boats fishing around me yesterday. I had a couple boats fishing around me today. I did not see anyone else on this lake catch a fish. Now, I'm sure someone caught some fish, but I was by guys yesterday that were trolling night crawlers, both naked and with flashers and dodgers, and they didn't get a single bite when I talked to them. So, you know, everybody loves to hit the water and catch 20 or 30 trout. I certainly do. And at times, the Trout Trix worm will provide that sort of action. But where these worms really shine is in conditions like this. Very difficult fishing conditions, yet I was able to scratch out enough bites, and some very nice fish too. But I was able to scratch out enough bites to make the trip work, to make the trip worthwhile. I've got some fillets to take home. I had the thrill of fighting some fish. You know, when you go to the lake, the bite's not always going to be lights out. Sometimes it's going to be challenging. Sometimes it's going to be difficult. I anticipated having very good action here. I've got a dark moon, and like I said, a year ago I did very well, but it turned out to be very challenging. So I had to reach into the tackle box. I had to bust out my #1 bait for tough conditions, and that is the bubblegum colored Trout Trix worm. I knew if I did get hit on it, they were just going to be nipping at the tail, because this bait gives you exceptional action at low speeds, and that's what triggers the strike. So I got that hook way back in the worm, way back towards the tail, and sure enough, every fish I caught in this, that hook was looped right around the lower jaw, right where it should be. And that tells me those fish didn't come in and just annihilate that worm. They came in, they saw all that action, you know, in their strike zone. They took a nip at the tail, and they ended up hooked. I hooked just about every fish that bit. Problem was, I just didn't get that many bites. But in short, the Trout Trix worm saved the trip, saved my trip, and it'll save trips for you. And there will be days when this worm produces, you know, 15, 20, 30 trout for you. But when the going gets tough, it's something that you can count on to produce those bites when virtually nothing else will. It's just a great bait. If you want to get a set of your own, you know where to go. FHSfishing.com will hook you up with Trout Trix worms, Trout Trix minnows, trolling flies, downrigger rods, lead core rods, and more. We'll ship it out fast, and you'll be yelling, "Fish on," before you know it. Thanks for joining me for my early October Lake Elmanor adventure. I'll be back up here hopefully with better results. This lake is just, it's an amazing fishery with some very big trout. I love it up here. And it was really nice being out in the skiff because it gave me a lot more range than I have in a kayak. I got to explore some new areas, and like this flat here, I'd never fished this before, and this is a very good looking area. It's holding a lot of fish, and it's somewhere that I will definitely be back to when next time I'm up here at Lake Elmanor fishing. So anyway, you have a great day, and I will catch you next time right here on YouTube. We appreciate all support, guys, both in terms of people that visit the store and people that watch our videos here on our YouTube channel. Thanks a ton. I'm Kel Kellogg.